Let's go. How's everybody doing? Got some notes. Good to see y'all. I'll get us up on the screen here in a minute. Memorial Day weekend. That's what we're going to be talking about. And for those of you that weren't here Wednesday, excuse me, we went live Wednesday. And remember, we typically go. All right. Yes. Good to see. Is it too much over my head? No, I mean too much screen over my head. Let me zoom in. What's up, Doc?
How's that?
Good to see you. I'm getting straight right now. WW, what's up, WW? It is Memorial Day weekend. I'm going to talk about church today and our pastor and how good he is on all things. But we're going to talk about Memorial Day and expectations. Where?
Okay.
Yeah. And how about focus? Should we talk about focus?
You should be at Lowe's right now.
I did. I'm going to put it on there. We're talking about focus. I even spelled it wrong. All right. Sarski from MI. Is that Missouri or Michigan? What's Missouri? Mo. M-O. Sarski from Michigan. URAH, Sergeant Major. AJ. Randy's here. OG. What up, Cece? What are you looking at? Carl Green. What's up, Carl? Everything's over your head. Facts. WW. Did I open it yet? I did something almost as good. And I got to tell you, everyone, awesome. I don't have it in my grubby little hands yet. And long story, everyone knows here how we are. But I got it and I saw it. I just don't, I didn't get my grubby little paws on it yet. So I can't wait. Amazing. And once I'm in the same location as those items, I'm going to just put it all on. That's how you'll know when I got it in my grubby little paws, when you see it as soon as you come on screen. So WW, thank you very much. And more to follow for everybody. That's why I don't want to spoil it for everyone until they see it. But amazing, brother. Absolutely amazing. And again, once you see it live, everyone will know. We'll let them in on our little secret. David Bryan is here. Tension on deck. Fubar is back. He must be talking about the producer over there. Adam East, what's up, Guns? Good to see y'all. Welcome. Thanks you who were with us on Wednesday and Sunday. Again, where's Lake Cookie? He knows I'm waiting for the dust to settle, but it ain't no time soon. And I think we kind of like that. We must like encourage it. What was that word when you don't stop something? You don't start it, but you don't stop it. Like a crime scene, right? You're complicit. Complicit. Yeah, I think that's what you are over there. You're complicit to my chaos. David, what'd you say that you had to retract it? Watch out. We got the hammers in the house. Gimme Cocoa Pops is working. Sam Caceres is here. Good evening, Sergeant Major. If you were offered or nominated for a prestigious, some might even coveted post. What? Let me try this again. If you were offered or nominated for the prestigious something, some might say even coveted post as Sergeant Major of the Corps. Oh, would you have? Okay, I got it. If you were offered or nominated or in the short list, they call it, of all the 300 sergeants major at any one time, eligible for that position, probably I'm guessing about maybe a dozen. Time and grade, where they've worked, and things that make you eligible to be the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. If I was offered that, would I take it? I tell you, it'd be a hard decision. first and foremost, right off the bat, of course, I'd say, oh, hell yeah, because I could make some changes in that position. At the same time, I've seen people get to that position and don't make a single change and actually get kind of like all of a sudden they forgot where they came from, the things we talk about. They're not leading from the front. They're not doing the things I know that they want to. One did and stirred up a lot of stuff still to this day. I think he's the best sergeant major of the Marine Corps in my time anyway, and that was Barrett. But he took a lot of heat for it. He took a lot of backlash. It was like pulling teeth. And that's the part I'd be afraid of. I don't know if I would make it the full 4-year post because I wouldn't give in. And I think some give in. Great question, bro. I mean, people have asked me that, and I've never answered it like publicly. Would you accept it and stayed longer? So to be the sergeant major of the Marine Corps, if they offer that to me, again, on the surface, short answer, hell yeah. But then I wonder how much their hands are tied and how much they give up once they get in there. And I won't name specific names of who I think actually did that, but I think when people get up there, that happens. Not that they want to, and they probably go up there, I'm guessing, because that list goes from about 12 to 10. They keep dwindling that list down of who gets selected. And then ultimately, the Commandant of the Marine Corps selects that sergeant major based off of, I'm sure, tons of recommendations from the outgoing sergeant major. What I'm saying is, Sam, the politics, I'd pull my hair out, what little hair I had. And I just wouldn't do it. I would refuse to give in to the politics. And I think too many people gave in. They sell out. Facts. All right. Who else is here? Chilling and killing, Doc. I like that. David Bryant says, 25 people on board, only 5 likes. What? David, get him. How are you going to be here and not like it? That's it. Great question, Sam. Appreciate that. And I wonder how many of my fellow sergeants major buddies, how they feel. I think some just take it for the prestige to say, I'm the sergeant major of the Marine Corps, and then get up there and stop working. Your work doubles every time you get promoted. Some people don't take it like that. Some people, I worked with a sergeant major recently, retired. It's like once he got to that position of I'm in charge, he stopped working. That's when your work doubles when you get in those positions. Not for this guy. He's like, I made it, got the parking spot, got the t-shirt. I'm doing nothing. And that was painful to be around, embarrassing. Embarrassing as a fellow Marine, and even more embarrassing as a fellow sergeant major. All right, I'm more live chat. Always takes a minute to catch back up. Let me see who else is here. Where's everybody from? We know most of you. Where are you from? What are you drinking? Can I show my drink? It's a 40. It's an OE. Just kidding. It's a knockoff. What are they called? The Kimi drinks? Celsius. It's a knockoff Celsius from Costco. It's delicious. Better. All right. Let me just caught up. See who else snuck in while I was down. Doc, member for 16 months. Look at OG Doc. Can they all see that? Everyone see that? You look like someone who's going to ask to speak with the manager. I look like a Karen? I'll speak to the manager. I am the manager. He couldn't have been too bad, or else he would have been dismissed. Who are we talking about? Happy Memorial Day. Hope y'all celebrate and have fun on this happy day. Wicked one. Perfect, because we're going to talk about Memorial Day and what it really means, how people get it mixed up with kind of Veterans Day or Veterans Day. Veterans Day, Memorial Day, not the same thing, not the same meaning. So, Wicked One, hang out with us for a little while. We're going to discuss that specifically. Clean streets will. I don't know anything about the military, but wanted to at least say thanks. Brother, that means so much to all of us. We appreciate that. And I ask you to hang out for a little while because you're gonna hear some deep stuff today, since tomorrow is Memorial Day. You're gonna see some brotherly, sisterly love, some camaraderie, some era. I know it. I feel it. And because Memorial Day's tomorrow, it's different. And it is, Wicked One, it is a day to celebrate, if you will, or better yet, gather, right? And discuss what it really means. Everyone handles it different. Same as Christmas. Christmas is a great holiday for most, but not all. All right, Zombie Blood is here. What's up, Zombie Blood? Get some, Sam. Much respect to you. Thank you for being here and asking that question. Don't beg for likes. That's weak. Oh, please don't go, BMAC. Memorial Day we celebrate around the world. We're full of joy on this Memorial Day, best day ever. Again, hang out for a little bit, Wicked One. WW Sergeant Major, what about being selected as the senior enlisted advisor to the chairman? Now that is, of course, that's like the next step. That's what Sergeant Major Black did. Went from Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps to the SEAC. I got to believe there's even more politics up there and political correctness, because even when Sergeant Major Black went there, we didn't hear from him again. So the politics part of it is what I would be afraid of. Jared, bye, Felicia. Don't let the door hit you. David Bryant, what do you think of the current Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps? It seems like he just wants to be everybody's buddy, in my opinion. David Bryant, I never met him. I never served with him. I don't know him. I've heard some good things about him, but I'm just not seeing it. I haven't seen anything. And unfortunately for him, the only thing I did see was when he was testifying in Congress about the state of I think it was primarily the barracks, and I don't even remember the full what the question was, because his answer was so poor. He just got beat up by some congresswoman, and I felt bad. So and since then, I'm seeing what you're seeing, David. He's in the streets and singing cadence with the boys, and they love him because of that. But what is he doing for them? And his latest shenanigans, malarkey and tomfoolery, he's okay. I did hear that he's fine after he crashed that motor scooter into. But again, like all the comments were saying, why was he on it? And the comments were pretty funny. When's his NJP? Where's his PPE? All right. I'm from my mother and drinking tomato juice. Never could get into tomato juice. Jared, current Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps is too soft. I don't like his Sally gloves. I agree. Again, Barrett was a great example, in my opinion. Probably a little biased because I know him. I worked with him before, but he was, if you remember, his big claim to fame was sleeves down year round. As much as I love suns out, guns out, rolling my sleeves, there's no what purpose does that serve to roll your sleeves? I was with him 100%. You go to the rifle range, you put your sleeves down. You go to the field, sleeves down. Anything, gas chamber, anything and everything we do, we go to combat, sleeves down. The uniform was intended for that. That's our working uniform, our era uniform. Why? What's the purpose of rolling sleeves? Because it's hot? You see, once he was gone, they put it back. They couldn't handle it. He was sleeves down. And Zomiak, era. So you look like a sergeant major. You may be the manager, but Mrs. Cece is the general manager. Facts. Hard agree. Thank you for answering the call. Justin Harris, Era. Where you from, bro? I was born in MCRD, San Diego. Era. Yes. Yes, people love when I give answers like that. Mike Smith is here. What's up? 300. Watch. Sergeant Major Cece. Thanks, Smooth J. Where did all my comments just disappear to? They'll come back up. All right, today we're going to talk about church. There's a gentleman who's, I don't know if I can't remember now because it was like 6 months ago, whether he was there or we watched the video. I have no comments. Do you? You see comments over there?
Randall just did memberships and so did
I see no comment. Oh, there they are. All right, they disappeared from it. They went UA. UA, I want to go. All right, Randall Knapp. What's up, Randy? 10 gift memberships. WW 10 gift memberships. Got some members. All right, we're going back to it. And we're still going to do Wednesday members live only. That's still going to happen. If you put a comment in here and you wanted answered, I apologize, but I was offline for a minute for some reason. So I'm going to get caught up. So I'm not talking about old news. I see that. Here I am. Pop Green Smoke. Jesus loves you. Yes, Luffy. He loves you as well. Is boot camp as mean as they documented? Yeah, yo. I'm going to tell you this, and this was straight from my pastor this morning. Before we start, everyone gets together, the greeters, the parking detail, the security, everybody gets together. We say a little prayer before we start. Well, this morning he kind of sought me out and I said, hey man, I got to tell you, I love your channel. I didn't even know he knew about it, let alone watched it. I said, you watch it? He said, every time. I get notifications. I watch every single short that you do. I don't imagine he watches the lives. I didn't want to ask him, did you subscribe and do you hit the like button? I didn't ask any of that. I said, really? Oh, I appreciate that. Thanks for watching. He said, it's just so real. It's just so real. You're not up there, because look at you. You're a guy. And I always give him every now and then at church. And he said, you make it, you keep it real. He's a civilian, never served. Lived around Marines for a long time, never served, and a lot of Marines in his parish, is that what it's called? People that go to his church. So he knows enough because he mentions the military on days like today, tomorrow being Memorial Day. He said, I really love it. I watch it. I'm learning about more and more about the Marine Corps every short that you do. And you keep it real. There's no drama, right? You don't talk about politics. You don't pick one side. You keep it real. And it seems like you're trying to teach people how to prepare themselves to go. And he said, and like the ones that are in, it's like you're trying to motivate them to do better for themselves. He said, you even talk about, after the service. How do you succeed after the service? I was like, hallelujah. Amen. He just described our channel to me, my pastor, who just by watching it. So to answer your question, Yayo Ruffle, is boot camp as mean as they document it? Yes. That's why we do these things. That's why we talk about it. That's why we tell you physical fitness, mental toughness, not making it up. Where do you think the stories come from? I wonder. Thank you, Yayo. Good question. And I'm telling you, that was from my pastor this morning. Amazing. All right, Justin Harris, thank you to all of Armed Forces veterans and active duty. Appreciate all your sacrifices. All gave some gave all. That's from Memorial Day. We're going to talk about that here shortly. Estella, do you know why the soldiers from Vietnam War did not get a welcome home? I've heard so many stories of Vietnam vets talk about getting insulted and targeted and spit on and baby, you know what? I don't know if I can say that word. Horrible, horrible, Estella. That's why when you meet a Vietnam veteran, just thank you for your service, but more importantly, welcome home, because they didn't get what today's men and women get. Do I know why? No, not that deep into it, but politics and money. That has everything to do with it. Wrong as it is wrong. All right. I don't know how I pull that box up. But church today, also in church, what I want to talk about, we had a guest speaker, if you will. And he was a CSI guy, a cold case. What? What? Oh. Towards me. I might have bumped it. Jared, most people don't know that in 1774, God was starting to build the court. Wait, follow up from Yayo. But how does the drill instructor keep a private from going AWOL? So you need to look back, Yayo, go through my shorts and I tell a story about, was it a short? Don't go through my shorts. Nobody wants that. my short videos. I personally had a recruit go AWOL. This sucker just needed a cigarette, is what he said. He jumped the fence, ran to the airport, was looking for a cigarette, got picked up, come back. So how do you keep them from going AWOL? It's a fine line because yes, it's gated. You know, MPs circle around. It's not hard to get off. It's not hard to get off MCRD. Parris Island, I don't know if it's similar. I know they got swamps and gators, and it might be a little harder in Parris Island, but if someone wanted to bad enough, they would. Nowadays, they're soft and they lie and whatever. But it's that fine line, Yayo, between, because I'm telling you, it's culture shock. And I can't speak for everyone, but I'd be willing to bet everyone here at one point after they stepped on the yellow footprint said these words, "What the hell am I doing here?" Right? And then the follow on was, "How do I get out of here?" So it's a combination of everything. The camaraderie that's built right away. As soon as you get there, everyone's in the same boat. It's that shared misery. It's that brotherhood or sisterhood, depends on who you are. The drone instructors put something besides fear. They put something inside you that makes you want to prove them wrong. They make you decide to prove to yourself that, I not only can I do this, I'm going to do this. I want to do this for all the right reasons. So do some get out of it? Do some not make it? Sure. But it's not a prison. Although I had a recruit tell me this is worse than prison. He wrote that on his love letter. Senior did love letters. He said, "I've been to prison. This is worse." I was like, "Oh yeah, we're doing something right." So they could, technically, if they tried hard enough, they could. But DIs cannot. You can't. I had one. In the middle of the night, jumped the fence, ran across this was before 9/11. Had to been. Jumped across the fence on the flat line, ran across the tarmac into the hands of the security. All right. Cannon's here. 0311. Semper Fi and have a blessed Memorial Day, Sergeant Major. Thank you. Same to you. We're going to talk about Memorial Day here in a second. Saigon fell while I was in boot camp. Wow. The better question is, does the Marine Corps want people that don't want to be there? Jared, great question. No, so drill instructors will never give up on somebody, right? Recruits want to quit all the time. All the time. They ask, "Can I speak to senior drill instructor? This recruit needs to, I want to get out of here." The SI, the ideation of that they're going to hurt themselves. They again, I don't know the stats and how many kids have attempted. It's just shock. It's culture shock. I'm speaking to the choir, but those who haven't been, it's your worst nightmare. First couple of weeks, but then you get into a rhythm, and it's not getting easier. You're just getting stronger, smarter, faster. You're already the transition happens fast, and you get it. And then all you want is that title. So you're willing to do anything. I threw my back out in boot camp. I don't remember when, halfway through maybe. I think it was before we went up north, 5, 6 weeks in. Threw my back out where I couldn't stand up straight. And I obviously didn't tell anybody, because the last thing you want to do is extend your stay on MCRD. So I didn't tell anybody, but at one point I literally couldn't stand up upright. And my seniors said, "What's the matter with you?" Called me all kinds of names. "What's the matter with you?" As a service recruit, I got to go to sick bay. He said, "Go ahead, leave the guide on, leave the brassard. You'll never represent my company if you go to sick bay." It's like, oh, what? So of course I said, I don't want to go. He said, "Nope, you're going. You said it. I can't deny you. Go to sick bay." I went to sick bay. They said, "Yep, 3 days light duty, bed rest, give me all kinds of meds." And walking back, I'm holding this light duty chair. I'm thinking, man, I'm gonna get dropped. My senior's gonna disown me. No way. I was the guide. Ain't no way. So I crumpled that baby up, threw it in the nearest trash can, and went back to the house and just kind of sucked it up. That's what keeps recruits on the depot. Just the desire to earn the title. Ain't nothing gonna stop me. And that's why I feel so bad when recruits get injured, like real injuries, that like broken bones and stuff, where you can't, nothing's gonna, you have to get better first. But then back to Jared's question, better question is, does the Marine Corps want people that don't want to be there? Problem is, you don't know anything the first couple of days. So you got to look past that. You got to push past that. As a senior, the kids that said that, "Sir, this recruit, I got. Nope, you got to suck it up. That's where that term comes from. Suck it up. Well, quit your whining. Get back out there. In today's society, are they still that tough on them? I pray that they are, and I think they are. They are. The drill instructors ain't no different, right? Even though society's changing, we're still hitting our recruiting goal. We're still getting Marines in the fleet, so still working. No, you feel that way right now. Trust me on this one. If from Doc, if a recruit were to tragically pass away during boot camp, are they considered? So there is, Doc, and there's so many. Your thing went up, but if a recruit passes away unalived, one way or the other, are they considered a Marine? No. It depends on who you ask and if there's a timeline and how far did they make it through, because even that the whole drama mess that female Marine, she faked it, injury so she wouldn't have to do McMap. She still calls herself a Marine. I'm a Marine. No, you ain't a Marine. I think, and I don't know this for sure, maybe Gunny East does, or somebody active duty. You have to hit a certain point in boot camp before you can again be invited back. You did enough time to where you heal and go back, or they leave you on the depot for all logistical purposes, like any kind of benefits. I think it's a certain point that you make it through, but I don't know. The way experience, how'd you throw your back out? I was getting thrashed. And I felt it while I was getting IT'd. Boom, something flip, and I was the guy, and I was doing extra, and I didn't want to quit or give up. There you go, David Bryan. That's huge right there. Are you hurt or injured? Rub some mud on it. Hurt or injured? Injured, big difference. And today's kids don't seem to know the difference, right? Hurt or injured. It's a huge difference. You sore, injured, big difference. WW had pneumonia, 104. Ain't nothing you can do about that. You got to go to sick bay, sick call. 104, you die at 106. Your brain dies, I think, at 104. Is that what's happened to you, WW? Didn't your brain shut off at like 106? Nobody knows the true potential until they're pushed beyond what they think is possible, Jared. Well said. Not having it today. Hammers, the Hammers are having it, having a day. Daggum right. That's what I said, because you're knocking them out. Was the hardest leadership decision you had to make as a sergeant major? Jesus. Good one, Jesus. Hardest decision as a sergeant major. It has to do with discipline. I know that, and what to do to discipline a Marine. Thinking about their career. I don't want to say that certainly not perfect, but I think I'll tell you one. I wish Big O was here. I do have a regret on this one Marine. In combat, he was on my PSD, personal security detail. He was my main guy, corporal, motivated, not the best looking infantry, grunts in the field. He had an outer legs mustache. My fault. And I was on him about it. And you got to be careful when you say, "Oh, he's a good Marine." Was he a good Marine 24/7? And he wasn't. Kind of why I had him on the PSD so I could watch him. He was our jump second in command. Good Marine. Got a DUI after we got back, and held him accountable to the max. And then shortly after I wish O was here so he can remind me of the details because he remembers. He was his Marine. Big O was my first sergeant at the time. I was a sergeant major. And Big O recommended not promotion. But he was cleared. He was cleared. Yes, he had a DUI on his record, but he was cleared hot, and his number came up. Right to a sergeant, it's time of grade, time of service, pro and cons. All those things are factored in. He met all the requirements, except the last one was a recommendation, rec or non-rec, from your first sergeant, the CO, ultimately the commander. But Big O's telling me, nope, not recommended. And I talked to him about it, and I'm like, come on, man, this guy's good. I wanted the first sergeant to agree with me as the sergeant. I could easily told him, shut your mouth, I'm promoting him anyway, which ultimately I guess is what I did. Sure enough, I don't remember the timeline, but later on, the Marine got in trouble, like domestic or something. He got in more trouble, alcohol-related incident, again, after I recommended him for promotion. So that was a tough decision. I don't know if that's what you meant. Like I don't remember any. Nah, I do have a combat decision that was difficult. Was the hardest leadership decision. So that was a leadership decision that I regret now. And I made the wrong one. It was hard, but I made the wrong one. All right, let me get caught up here. Mike Smith, my brother served 3 weeks in the Army back then. Veteran, yes. Soldier, no. What's the recruiting age? Age limits for Marines? 18 to 26 with waivers? Can go beyond that with the waiver? God bless the USA. Is Hell Week the worst in boot camp? Yeah. I think they changed it up to 42. So that's with a waiver regiment, you can go up to 42 years old with the waiver. And I imagine first class PFT, they probably a huge, maybe an in-depth physical, right? But you can waive. You can waive. They were talking about it for a little while, waiving it up to 52. Mm-hmm. I don't know about that. Although I think I can make it through boot camp right now. I just wouldn't want to. Ain't no way I want to put up with that mess. Yeah, you still qualify. Go for it. The guard is up to 65. Grandpa can join the guard. And I want to say after a deep and thorough physical, mental, medical screening, I don't think your age matters that much after all that. All right, I see John McJunkin. I was confident that that I was completely ready for boot camp when I enlisted. I was constantly used to disappointment, pain, suffering with nobody cares, that I had hangnail issues and turf toe. Or is that where you got your turf toe? In boot camp. All right, so church today, welcome everybody. Good to see you. Glad you're all here. Tomorrow is Memorial Day, and we are going to talk about that here in a little bit. First, I want to talk about church, and the guest they had on today started to tell it he is a retired cold case detective. His dad was a Marine, a cop. He was a cop, and his son's now a cop. And he showed a picture of all three of them at once. It was pretty cool, all in their uniforms, all cops. When this guy, Jay, and they're all Jim Wallace. Yeah, they're all Jim Wallaces. When the one who gave the sermon today, when he switched from being a cop to a beat cop, I guess, to an investigator, his first cold case was a case that his dad couldn't solve. So kind of just a cool story. And the whole reason he wasn't Christian at the time. He found Jesus through his investigations because somehow, some way along the way, they correlated something that where he had to investigate. He's like, wait a minute, this is a claim of Jesus, why this cold case was happening. And don't, I'm going to butcher the story. Long story short, he treated Jesus like a cold case, like because he wasn't a Christian yet. Not that he didn't believe, and I don't even remember what he said he did believe in at the time, but he wasn't a full-fledged, born-again Christian. He is now, after he put his cold case steals, and he did it for like 30 years, his cold case skills on trying to find the truth. Is Jesus real? Is Christianity real? And he laid it out, man. He says it's normally like an 18-hour class, and he's written like 3 or 4 books on it. And I'll even give you his name here in a little bit. But all the facts he was spitting this morning, and he did 3 services, and each service they weren't the same service because it takes so long. He did all 3, and he laid it out by timelines, how you find a murder case, right? There's the time that leads up to it and the time after. That's where all the evidence comes from. The actual event, very little comes from that because that's like a bomb going off. So it's what leads up to it and the mess that the bomb leaves after. And he's like, there's proof. I couldn't deny it. Once he was halfway through that study is when he got saved again or born again. Mandy Lance is here. What's up, Mandy Lance? Thank you very much for that smoke. God bless America and the Marines and all who have good Memorial Day this weekend. And all have commas are our friends. God bless America and the Marines and all. Have a good Memorial Day weekend.
And all have a good Memorial.
Oh, and all.
Why you want to add commas though? There's none.
Mandy Lance, thank you very much. We're going to talk Memorial Day here in a little bit. David Bryant, if you only knew how many NCOs, staff NCOs officers I let slide as an MP so that their careers weren't destroyed, it took Semper Fi to a new level. Good on you. That's what it's all about, taking care of each other, right? And it's obviously case by case, but you got to. That's why. That's our brotherhood. That's the camaraderie. We don't need anybody in there that just black and white. Everything's black and white because it's absolutely not. At the same time, accountability is huge. I already wrote it down. But good on you, David. And that's huge too. And I think I've told you before, that's why I continue. As a corporal, I saw it happening, people getting burned for the wrong reasons. Career ruined. I had a sergeant major save me on the drill field. Went up for NJP. It would have destroyed the rest of my career if he wasn't looking out, doing sergeant major things. JTB is here. Era. John McJunkin, at our church service, we watched a video of 3 American POWs. Wow. Dang. Prince, are you a Marine? Era. Thank you, Mandy Lance. JTB, yes, he is a Princey girl. Yeah, yo. I like it when veterans come together no matter what branch. Y'all had to go through things a normal person wouldn't. The military as a whole is one big family. Amen. Yeah, yo. And as much as the inner service rivalry, which I hope never goes away, Marines, we know we're the best. But that inner service rivalry, the jokes, the crayon eating, right, all that stuff, I hope it never, ever dies. That just builds our camaraderie because we all know at the end of the day, one team. You said it, one team. So, Mitch, could you survive 61 days of Ranger School? Absolutely. No doubt in my mind, WW, there's nothing that I couldn't survive. One way, just like a run. Never in my career fell out of a single run or a hike because you ain't breaking me. You just making me. It's mental. Ain't no way. I'd like to go to Ranger School. It's one of those things. Again, I did the recon indoc just because, for no reason. I never wanted to go recon. Loved what I did already. But yes, mentally, without a doubt, 100%. Unless I'm missing a limb, I'm going through anything. Prince, your girl. My father was a Marine. When he was 17, my grandmother had to sign papers to let him join 2 Purple Hearts. Wow, for fighting in Vietnam. I miss him. God bless him. Sounds like he's gone, so God rest his soul. And we thank him for his service. My mom and dad had to sign mine too, same. They weren't happy. What's the Japanese plate on the back? You see that? G's? Okinawa. Thank you for your service. Happy Memorial Day. Thank you. Okie plate. Do you remember me? My name is Frankie Fails. Yes, I do. What's up, Fails? How are you? What have you been up to after you escaped that school? What are you doing now? Brothers and sisters in arms can talk smack to each other over, but nobody else is allowed. Amen. Would you go to Iran to serve some freedom? Absolutely. I'm waiting to go. My sea bag is packed. Nomad, every American president, with the notable exception of Martin Van Buren, is related to King John of England, and the exception of Martin, every president present and past are related to each other. Is that a fact? JTB, my dad was happy to sign mine. Boom. That's a big, bright smoke right there. Yellow. Is that yellow? What's up with the license plate? I remember they had Y on them as a young PFC sergeant major out there on Gate 2 Street with screwdriver looking for Okinawa memento. That one's not. I'll let you in on a little secret that I ordered that, but we did have that exact plate 2323 who can tell me what it's for. But the Yankee plates, the Y plates meant not Japanese. It didn't mean just American, did it? Foreigner, European, Yankee. We called it Yankee, the Y plate, where the kanji is the smiley face, which is he, usually a big Y there. That's for the Americans. And the E there was an E for. Yeah. It's good stuff. But yes, I did bring didn't we? When you're transferring cars or plates, you get that red stripe one. Looks like a diver. You know, the diver sign is that red stripe across the circle. Diver flag is a red stripe. We didn't manage to get one of those. That's when you're waiting for registration or something. Yeah, we bought a car off base from a lot with no Y plate yet. So it had a Japanese plate. So they gave us that. I didn't even remember what the name of that red stripe was. It's a template, but it had a red line like this is not legit until your plates came in. And we did have that plate, but the producer Above and Beyond, she got the glowy plate, the ones that it's plugged in, it lights up at night. It's pretty cool. Randy, I also never once dropped or fell from a run or hike. The embarrassment alone would have been the worst. And unfortunately today, Randy, that's not the mentality. Kids walk on a run. They fall out of hikes all the time. The ones in boot camp, I got to believe, are trying their very hardest. It's one of the times I got in trouble for helping. I was pushing him, but I think he really was, literally was trying his hardest. That's all we want. But I don't think that embarrassment is there anymore. Kids, it's okay to quit. Somehow, some way, the society has put in their head that it's okay to quit. They start a sports team and it's too hard for them. They want to quit. Football's too hard. The coach doesn't like me, whatever their poor excuse is, or it could be a legit excuse, but you ain't quitting. You're going to finish the season, period. Then you choose something else. You don't quit anything halfway through. That's how I felt about runs and hikes. I ain't quitting, right? I remember being broke off, but I ain't quitting. I ain't dropping. I'm not getting, definitely ain't getting on that safety vehicle. It's yellow. Thanks, Jared. Frankie, he went to the Coast Guard. Nice. For 4 years now and was on the cutter Valiant for 3 years. Did 4 patrols to Venezuela and Cuba. Good on you, Frankie. Nice work, brother. Good to hear. Glad you're doing well. Yeah, that's awesome. You staying in? Here's my advice. If you're thinking about it, you've been in 4 years, must be coming up on your EAS. Stay in. Stay in for 20. Minimum 20. The military has the best retirement, and I can only, that's the only retirement I have, but it's amazing. Military retirement is good. Don't get paid a ton of money while you're in, but retirement is good. So stay for 20. It goes by quick. 20, I told myself if I re-enlisted once, I would stay to 20. Next thing I know, 20 was here. I was like, crap, I'm not done. Still way too many things I got to do. Prince Girl, yeah, a few. I'm fighting a couple. Was a part of one of the biggest drug busts of the Coast Guard, $361 million worth of cocaine. Wow. Good on you, Frankie. Nice work. You're a military man. Yes, Bengal. Granberg, since the general orders are lessons learned from tragedy, what new general order would you add based on your experience? I wouldn't add any. I think they and we've done stuff with the general orders over and over, and of course you memorize them in boot camp. I think it does. I think it covers them all. It's if you really take them to heart. That's a problem. Just like with most rules, right? People don't enforce them, right? We have gun laws, we have border laws, we have all these rules and regulations. It's just a matter of holding people accountable to them. So that is a good question, though, Grainberg. I never thought is there one that needs to be added? I wouldn't. Just a quick answer is no. I don't think any need to be added. We just need to hold people accountable to them. And the quickest, easiest way is to think of a Marine on duty in the barracks. They don't want to be there. Friday night, 2 a.m. Is he doing all those things according to the general orders? No. And I'm guilty of it too. Are you walking your post in a military manner? No, I'm slouched in a chair waiting for my time to come up. So as long as we hold Marines accountable with the 11 general orders that are there, they could be perfect. That's a good question. I haven't had that one yet. Might use that as a short. Granberg, thank you. I'm dying for some chow hall food. Raymond, I'm with you. I've had a bad meal or two in the military in chow halls, but that says a lot because I've probably eaten 1 million. Love chow hall food. Extreme is here. What's up, Extreme? Permission granted. Come on board. Eli, thank you for the yellow smoke. Did you call him Eli? Eli Cash. I'm sorry, Eli. I didn't even say your name when I read your smoke. Thank you. Appreciate you. So I was happy to answer that question. Love that plate back there. Eli says, I'm 5'3". My SDI named me DeVito. I went after the biggest SOB from another platoon in the field at Paris Island. I got a phone call for that. Never give up. That's awesome. What a great story. You got to. You got to. And that's what I would tell my Marines growing up. I tell the recruits, tell the young Marines, that's you. When you go into Costco and you think, man, if something goes down here, I'm going for the biggest dude here, whether I can take him or not. That just shows as a senior drill instructor, I'd let you on a little secret. I think I talked about this a long time ago. As a senior, I used to go to, and I didn't create anything. Somebody obviously told me, you go to receiving barracks the night before drop day, that Friday, when all hell breaks loose. Friday morning, that's pickup day. The receiving barracks have had them all week, all the shots and admin, and they do all their stuff all that week, and it's chaos for them. But Friday is pickup day. Again, that's the worst day of boot camp. And that's when the kids cry, they want to run, they want to leave, they hate it, they don't do anything, the failure to adapt. So that's when all your problems are that first day, because, and that's what that day is designed to do, just intense, right? Drill instructors sweating through their uniforms. Remember, I had 2 or 3 Charlies set up in the locker. Once you sweat through yours completely, where it changed colors, that your full body sweat, you run in there, change over real quick, boom, fresh uniform. The recruit's like, good God, where'd this guy come from? So the night before that, as a senior, I'd go to the receiving barracks, find my platoon, talk with the receiving barracks drill instructor. Hey, let me talk to my boys for a minute. And I'll tell them, hey, tomorrow, I know your receiving drill instructors told you what to expect. I'm your drill instructor. I'm telling you what to expect. I'm your senior. This is what's going to happen. And you remember that day. How much did you really hear? So I took it one step further, because recruit abuse, recruit whatever, it is obviously the quickest way to get fired as a drill instructor. So I find the biggest kid, biggest recruit. Didn't matter what size. I'll say, okay, if recruit Jones here, look at if he's moving too slow, or if he's doing something wrong, a drill instructor might grab you and say, hey, I need you right here. And I'll just whip this kid around, whip him back. And if I tell you sit down and you need help sitting down, and I'll freaking whip him down. If I say, get your ass over here, did I just verbally assault you? And I'm putting some fire in your butt to move faster. So there's a difference between physical abuse and verbal abuse. What I'm showing you is not physical or verbal abuse, but it's anything beyond that. Then you come talk to me. So just get them into the mindset already. Whoa, tomorrow's going to be intense. I said it's going to be like that for 3 months. And a good team, drill instructor team, maintains that for 3 months. But again, what happens is it doesn't get easier. It feels like it's getting easier because you're getting accustomed to it, or you're getting programmed to it. The physical part, you're getting stronger. So it seems like, boot camp gets much easier. Third phase is easy. It's not easy, but according to the schedule and the physical fitness and the mentality of it, you're getting better. It's a weird transition. Like, you don't even see it coming. You don't feel it coming, but it happens. And you can't stop it. As long as you do what you're supposed to do, you can't stop that from happening. All right. Extreme Sergeant Major, I don't believe lowering our standard is a good idea. No hands in pockets, uncover. You come indoors, those build a backbone, discipline, and order. And I don't think we ever will. Extreme. I take that back. It seems like as time goes on, again, I told myself I never want to be that guy. When I was in, we weren't allowed to, some things every now and then, you're like, man, why did we get, and the Marines are always last to give in on things. Did a short about 2 years ago, probably now, where the Navy was talking about making it authorized to put your hands in your pocket. Nowhere does it say you can't hang out with your hands in your pockets, but that's what Extreme is talking about. That's just things that Marines don't do. The level of professionalism is above all the orders. That's why it kills me when I see a out of regs mustache, a 0 to 3 in like a quarter of an inch when they got the poof, the females. Those things bother me. And that's not a sergeant major thing. So everyone likes to say, oh, all he cares about is haircuts. No, it's discipline. It goes back to discipline, and master guns should be the same way, backing those up. David Bryant, 12th General Order. Who knows the 12th General Order? Without cursing, somebody put the 12th General Order on here. Jared, good point. I don't go for the biggest. I go for the shifty hide. Good call. Extreme fall on the run is always unacceptable. Damn, bro, you been in the Army? I'd lose my mind in the Army. I love our soldiers, but and that's what, when Marines are around Army, they're like, oh, they're nasty. Then look at their hair, look at their hands. It's a different culture. Ain't nothing nasty about them. They have different rules, different standards, different. That's my JRTC cadets would notice it first and foremost. Look at those soldiers took their blouse off. Look at that female has her hair down in a ponytail. That's nasty. No, it's not nasty. Their rules are different. Their regulations are different. Jared, my drone instructors never sweat. My drone instructors were never out of breath. I thought they were all cyborgs. That's the image that we want to present right there. I'm telling you, I would crawl in and out of the window. They'd see me going to the duty hut, and maybe 5 minutes later or 12 hours later, they'd see me come back out of the duty hut. They're like, where's this guy go? He never see him leave. They never saw me eat, sleep. They never saw me drink water, nothing. Because we're cyborgs. And we'd have 2 or 3 Charlies set up. As soon as the sweat started leaking out of you just go in there and change over. Boom. PT, I'm telling you, that's how we did PT. 4 hats out on the PT field, killing everybody. Right as it ended, 2 would take off to the house. You're still getting thrashed. You don't see. You can't eyeball the area. So you don't. All of a sudden, you get back to the house thinking, "Whoo, we beat all the drill instructors at the house. We have a second to shake it." Nope. 2 drill instructors at the hatch, dressed in their Charlies, ready to go. Like, what? Where did they drop out of the sky? Where did these guys come from? All right. There it is from Eli. To walk my post from flank to flank, taking no stuff from any rank. Amen. That's General Order number 12. So maybe that should be officially put in the general orders. David, giving out secrets for drone instructors. Marine Corps drone instructors sewed their pockets shut. Oh, just Marine Corps. Marine Corps sewed their pockets shut, and then they realized that's an Article 108 violation, destruction of government property, unauthorized modification, and degrading the uniform. So yes, I've known drone instructors that did that because they just wanted that much more streamlined, that much more squared away. Their cami pockets, their Charlie pockets, all that sewn shut. So it's a URAH look. I never did. Be honest with you, I never did that to those uniforms because I wasn't always going to be a drone instructor. And there's times I'm going to want to put something in my pocket. It did look sharp though. Maybe drone instructors should have their uniforms should be different. They shouldn't have nothing in their pockets anyway. And I got to tell you, going on the depot now, you see phones in pockets of drill instructors. That would be another thing if I was the sergeant major of the Marine Corps. Ain't no way. No phones authorized in the pockets of any service uniform. Camis, okay, you can't see it. Service uniforms, nope. Frankie's an E4. Nice job. On the verge of making E5, and I'm about to be engaged, so I'm considered staying into a make a career. Congratulations on your engagement. Get married, get promoted, stay in. It's a good life. It really is. Frankie, so good to hear. And I'm proud of you. Keep it up. Frankie, what MOS and how many years you have your age? Frankie's got to be about 23, 24, 89, 21, 22, 22, 4 years in the Coast Guard. Make it a career is a wise choice from Sergeant Stacking. What's up, Stack? In my opinion, get that retirement. Civilian sector is not easy right now. Nope. All right. Man, good stuff already. BM3 in the Coast Guard, 21. Used to put out smokes and lighter in our socks. What is Claudio talking about? All right. J. Wallace Warner. Back to that. So what he did was scientifically and spiritually prove that Jesus is real. So, I mean, watch this stuff. J. Warner Wallace, and he lays it out. He wrote books on it. He did a CSI cold case study on Jesus. And he said the biggest thing is eyewitnesses. Without eyewitnesses, and even with eyewitnesses, there's things you got to look out for. People that lie, there's 3 reasons why people lie: money, power, and what was the other one? No. The 3 reasons people lie: for money, for power. Oh, sex. Yes, that's the 3 reasons why people lie typically. So once they dispel all 3 of those, that's when you get closer and closer to the truth. So he, using that cold case analogy and whatever process, that's what he believes the stories are real about Jesus, about God and Jesus. He worked on this for years. So check it out. J. Warner Wallace. I think Jim. I think his first name is Jim, but he goes by J. All right. Randy, I saw a recent video of a Marine recruiter wearing large sunglasses in his deltas. I never saw that when I was active duty. You know, I do, and there are rules to sunglasses, jewelry. We know 1 ring per hand, right? Usually a wedding band in a school. You know, officers like to wear their ring knocker, BMI, and all that. So 1 ring per hand. The only bracelets authorized are the POW MIA, 1 watch, inconspicuous or non-eccentric. I don't remember which word it uses. Maybe you can help me, but non-eccentric. Same goes with glasses. You can wear sunglasses, just not in formation. You can wear sunglasses whenever you need to, as long as you're not in formation, but they have to be non-eccentric, inconspicuous. I remember at one point of one of our deployments, Oakley came out with the white Oakleys. They didn't send them to us, but guys were ordering them white to stand out, to be different, to be cool. It was probably my snipers. Just kidding, snipers. I always mess with the snipers. They're white, big square Oakleys, white rims. It's like, come on, really? Why? It looks dumb, and it doesn't match anything you're wearing. So I had to put the kibosh on the white Oakley. Sorry, those of you guys. He had a white watch. No, it's inconspicuous. Right at one point, I don't know if they put it in order: black, brown, or green. Same with the backpacks. Remember, backpacks was a big deal. Issued only, and then they lighten it up a little bit, so you can have civilian backpacks, but they got to be black, brown, or green. Right? Then I don't know, who knows if there's a rule now or not. And you got to wear it properly. No 1-arm backpacks. Right? This ain't high school. You have a backpack, a day pack. You wear it properly. Boom, snapped everything. That's part of the expectations we're going to talk about here in a minute. I'm watching that clock. Don't worry. All right. Russia. Hello from Russia. Good to see you. Whoa, Jared and producer. Where did he come back? Did you guys ban him? All right. The head is shiny. Thanks. Who's? Oh, Ben Ruiz. Good evening, Sergeant Major. I ended up getting my first duty station pick of Iwakuni. First MA, reporting there October 2nd after MOS school. Super excited. Good on you. Congratulations. And you picked it. Iwakuni, place I've never been. I wish I could have been. Good on you. Congratulations. Enjoy. Spend as much time off base as you possibly can. Eat with the community, shop in the community, go visit any historical sites. Enjoy. And drink as much Georgia coffee as you possibly can. I'm happy for you. Jealous, but happy. God Country Corps, Extreme Era. It's on my surfboard. Actually, I have it God core country. All right, Eli. You have to take out a hostile if you can choose an ink stick. You have to take out a hostile if you can choose an ink stick, an E-tool, or an MRE. If you know, you know. What is everyone reaching for? E-tool for me.
Did you read that? Okay.
I don't think so.
You have to take out a hostile, and you can choose from an ink stick,
Oh.
an E-tool, or MRE heater.
Oh, hostile enemy. If you have to take out a bad guy, what are you taking? E-tool. The box is covering it. E-tool, ink stick, or what's the other one?
MRE heater.
Oh, MRE heater. MRE heater, you know, you can make a bomb. If it's one hostile, one enemy combatant, E-tool seems like the most obvious, but an ink stick you can find. One mind, any weapon. The box is on here. It'll go away. First Mall, what squadron? I don't know the squadrons well enough to even ask that question. I did time on an air station, not in one of the wings. Jared still wears OD green. Most of my shirts are OD green. I don't have a lot of camouflage stuff, but First Mall, what squadron? Oh, I just read it. Okay. I'm caught up. But yeah, E-tool, Eli. Again, power of the pen. Jared can use just his thumbs. Thumbs are important. If you're ever going to be a leg breaker for the mafia, first one is go for the thumbs. You can't do much without a thumb, right? Ask any animal that can't hold a beer. All right. Ryukyu. You should know what that plate is with a name like Ryukyu. Am I saying that right? Ryukyu-an? Producer, also, I would surprise many if you only knew. Your mind is a weapon, David Bryant. Boom. One mind, any weapon, or your mind is a weapon. I like that. All right. We did blessings. We talked about J. Warner Wallace. Memorial Day. Feeding off a church. The pastor talked about it today. He said, I didn't know. I've been corrected over the years. He said, I get it now. And, now I'm full-fledged patriot. I know the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day. And someone mentioned it early on. What a beautiful holiday it is, but as long as everyone knows for the right reason. Memorial Day is for the men and women who didn't make it, who gave the ultimate sacrifice, who didn't come home after their deployment, a day to remember them. So it's as great as it is. It's a day off. It is a day to gather and barbecue and do the things that you want to do with friends and family. But it's more than just it's not celebrating the service members. That's Veterans Day. That's when you celebrate. And that one's happy because everyone's here. Everyone's still alive. Everyone's here. Memorial Day is to remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice, gave their life for their country. That's what Memorial Day is. So gather, barbecue. We're going to barbecue. Gather and barbecue. But at some point throughout the day tomorrow, take a pause. Just remember, say a prayer for the family members, for the individual. In church, he even had everybody, if you have a friend or a family member that didn't come back from a war, just please stand up. We want to pray for you and your families. And that's huge. Already I got texts coming in from fellow veterans. Hey, just I love you, brother. Thinking about our boys on this day. God bless and Semper Fi. So that's what Memorial Day is. You should put your flags. You should already have a flag up, but if you don't, put a flag up for the day. I've already noticed more in our neighborhood. Kimi Cocoa Puff showed us one that they had a gigantic one in the mall. It's a day to thank those veterans who gave the ultimate sacrifice willingly. I guess maybe not during the draft and all that, but today's veterans, it's a time to to remember and recognize. URAH to all armed forces members that died in service of the United States of America. Thank you, WW. Amen. Second that, brother. Thank you. And that's the difference. So you should, hopefully, depending on where you live, you should even see more American flags. And I already have. One of the street corners of a business, it's a car wash, got a whole bunch of American flags just jammed in the grass. And don't forget the flag etiquette. When you do, and it's hard. I've corrected many people, many patriots and veterans throughout my career. If you're going to hang the flag, hang it right. There is a flag manual if you're ever in doubt. Thing about it, you shouldn't touch the ground. Nothing should be higher than it. Shouldn't be tattered. All those rules still apply. And a lot of times it was a 4th of July parade in Hawaii. The streets are lined with American flags. Well, this dude had a gigantic one on his fence, but the whole bottom, about 6 inches on the bottom, was dragging on the ground. It was too big. And during the parade, I was in blues. We were walking. I had JROTC or something. Walked over and said, "God bless you, brother. Appreciate you being here and supporting the flag. But would you mind just pulling the back so it shouldn't be touching the ground?" Little things like that. People don't do it out of disrespect. It's just you have to kind of know. So I didn't feel bad at all with telling them. Most people just don't know. When you hang a flag down, you want to hang it long ways. The blue field always goes to the left. Again, small rules that some people don't realize. You're hanging it, you think you just drop it. No, you gotta flip it and then drop it. Blue field to the left. Things like that. John McJunkin, for us here at the OFK, we acknowledge Memorial Day for those who gave all in service to our nation and their spouses, children, parents, siblings, and friends that they left behind. Amen. Backwards flags drive me crazy. Same, Jared, I'm the same way. And I say something when I have the ability to. Also on the color guard, the senior flag, the wearer's right is how I remind myself. American flag should be on the right if you're the American flag, you're the senior most position. So it's flipped as you're looking at a color guard. It's the color guard's right. The American flag is always on the right. I've seen many color guards get it wrong. I've seen stages like for graduations, businesses where they have the flags mixed up. They have the American flag and the state flag. They want to represent. That's awesome, but sometimes they just don't know. They just don't know. So there's nothing wrong with telling them. The flag is always on its own right. Right. I call it the wearer's right. I don't know where I got that from. The wearer's right. Michael, parents of veterans who gave all also laid the ultimate sacrifice upon freedom's altar. Remember the families of the fallen as well. Amen, Michael. This day in the Marine Corps history from Carl. Thank you, Carl. Elements of the 1st Marine Division era, the big one. 1st Marine Division engaged in tactical sweeps around Way City and surrounding the MVA era today in history. Jared, I was a commander of our fire department color guard, so I studied flag etiquette, so we were always squared away. Awesome. And you got to. You can look it up. If you're any part of the color guard or an organization, the police and the fire department, just look it up. Flags will be half-staff tomorrow. Yes, David. Good reminder. And if you have a flag at your house and it's possible to go flag half-mast, please put it at half-mast. Ours is fixed in the up position, so I can't. Our last place I had a different where you can put it level, which represented half-mast. So they should all be at half-mast or half-staff. What's up, Bulldog? Good to see you. Busy, RIP to fallen soldiers and Marines. Amen. LL. American flags need to be at half-mast. It's not half-staff, it's half-mast. Staff is on a vehicle or a staff, actual stick. All American flags. I was really forward to bro talking. You're talking about, I'm a bit fanatic about our flag and its etiquette. I am too. I can't even, every single color guard you ask any one of the crew here, I can't not, right? First thing I look at is height. It's the number one mistake I see in every single color guard. The flags, nothing can be above the American flag. It's obvious. Everyone knows that. But the color guards, when they're up in the cradle, that's when they have to look at it. And you can't tell by looking up. So you get someone else. Get one of your riflemen, walk over there. When we're in the cradle, and it's not because, it's because the size difference of the color guard and the unit colors. It's who's taller. So you have to adjust your harness to make sure that nothing is ever above. And I'm talking a quarter of an inch is wrong. Nothing can be above the American flag, meaning the other flag bearer next to you. Marines are fanatical. About what? About being Marines. So I did a 9-man color guard one time. That was interesting. WW lost a friend, lost a lot of friends in Iraq and Afghanistan. Same here, WW. And it's, again, so tomorrow, again, celebrate our freedom, but recognize why we're free. Yayo, I want to know, do you think America has been invaded internally already? For decades and decades and decades, WW, it's been happening. Oh, yeah. WW lost friends, Yayo. Yes, Yayo. I do, without a doubt. Love 100, I'm Navy. What's up, shipmate? Thanks for being here. What'd you do in the Navy? Doc, what drives me crazy is seeing another country's flag flown above the American flag. To me, the USA flag represents sacrifice, freedom, and every service member who gave all for it. So in your country, in America, no flag should fly above the American flag in our country. When you go overseas, it's different. But if you're on at an embassy, a U.S. embassy that's considered U.S. territory, so still the American flag is the highest. So when, again, no other flag ever. Jude, Ska, Watt, Jamoter. Did I get that right? Yeah. Jude, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Nice haircut, too. If that's you. Marine Raiders are the best special forces ever. It is MW. Why did you choose to join the Marines over the other branches of the military? I think my decision was pretty typical and also pretty funny. Marine recruiter came to my high school several times. I don't even remember any other recruiters coming there. They may have, but at one point, this dude, Sergeant McBain, in his dress blues, sought me out. I didn't find out till later. The principal told him, snatch that dude up. He's got no direction. So he kept bugging me. Sergeant McBain would find me, right? This is how old I am. We had smoking section in our high school. I didn't smoke, but I hung out with those cool guys. And I was also on the football team. So I caught trash from everybody. But he would pull me out of the crowd, embarrass me, and say, I got to talk to you. You know, what do you think? The Corps, what are you going to do with your life kind of thing? And nothing. But he kept bugging me. And I had a friend who was interested, was already, he might have already even, no, this was my junior year. So senior year, he came back at it. Anyhow, long story short, he got me to go to the office with him. Well, man, he knew what he was doing. He was a good recruiter. Had to be a recruiter of the year. Got me to the office once. And he said, just sit here. while he was working with my buddy, right, doing contract stuff and whatever. So I just sat there, and of course the TV was on, motivated stuff, shoot, move, communicating, and then a parade would come up with dress blues and the flyovers and the helicopter. It was just all that, and I was just like in a trance watching this TV, and then of course some boot camp. What's the photo album called? Like when you graduate from high school, what are those books called? Yearbooks from boot camp, and looking through those, and the 1775 book, just surrounded by it, pretending I didn't care about any of it. So we left, and a month or so later, my buddy had to go back to sign some more, and the recruiter said, "Come on," he said, "Look, I'm getting you out of school, getting you out of class, legitimately. You don't have to cut." So I would, and he said, "I'm gonna buy you lunch." Worked me for months until that one statement. I finally now was sitting on the other side of the desk. I don't even know when it happened. He's like, what are you going to do with your life? Show me those little tags. What do you want out of life? Discipline, experience. I don't remember any of the conversations. I already switched it on. College was not in my path. Never. It never was. No one in my family went to college. In fact, I was the first one to graduate high school. So long story short, I started telling my parents, and they're like, "Hell no, no way in hell, no, no, no. My family's in the food business. You're coming to work for us. You're gonna, make sandwiches the rest of your life." Nope. I didn't want to do that. I knew that. I didn't want to go to college. I knew that. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. So watching all those videos, I'm like, I can do that. That's physically fit, getting some, down and dirty, crawling in the mud, bayonets, fighting. I loved all that. Challenge, motivation. So at the last, before my mom signed, finally my dad still wouldn't. He said, "Nope, join the Navy, join the Navy." His brother was Navy or Army. No. I think he had an uncle that was a Navy cook, and his brother was Army infantry, door gunner. But he didn't even want me to join the Army. He said, "Go talk to the Navy, go talk to the Navy, go talk to the Navy." He said, in fact, talk to all the recruiters. You're not going to be a Marine. Too dangerous. So in our recruiting station, all the officers are lined up, one hallway. Army, Navy, Air Force, and then Marines, the very back office. So the 4 or 5 times I had been to the Marine office, I passed by all those offices. Every time. Didn't even look. Didn't even think twice. Until that day, I stopped in the first one, Army. "Hey, sir, my name is Cece. I'm thinking about joining the Army." He's like, "No, you're not. Take a pamphlet, take my business card, tell your dad you talked to me." Like, he already knew the game. Next office, "Hey, I'm thinking about joining the Navy. I want to be a sailor." "No, nice try. You're already brainwashed." Each one of them probably said that. "You're brainwashed. You're going to be a Marine. Do what you got to do. Take a pamphlet, get out." So I did. I did. All those offices, went home. "Hey, Dad, they just don't have anything for me. I don't think that's not the way I need to go." He still didn't sign. Like a couple months. I was like probably before my birthday, my 18th birthday. He finally signed though. So I'm glad he did. I'm glad I got his approval first before I did. And then went off. I'm telling you, I had nothing lined up.
Signature 18th birthday.
Huh?
Approval on your 18th.
That's what I'm saying. He signed before I turned 18. Yeah. Like he maybe because he wanted to be a part of it. I don't know, either way, I was glad he signed it before I turned 18. Yes. Daniel Hernandez in San Antonio. Man, we love some Texas. Get some brisket. All right. Who's leaving? Extreme. Have a happy and safe Memorial Day, Sergeant Major. CO is calling me for chow. Get some chow. Extreme. Thanks for hanging out, brother. Appreciate you. Enjoy your day tomorrow as well. Remember, take that moment to reflect. Appreciate you. Enjoy chow. Tell us all about it. All right. Mark, you know what I'm saying? Sergeant Major Cece's father loved him. Again, it was for all the right reasons. His brother, long story short, his brother in the Army had it rough, had PTSD bad. He did 2 back-to-back deployments. One of those stories that you hear about as they're coming back from Vietnam, you know, they just trade. They're walking big line of the flight line, getting off the plane. He turned around and got in the line to go back, like they didn't even know for a long time. He said letters home weren't even letters; they were just checks, hard checks to his mom. Then he had real bad PTSD for a long time, and it wasn't until I was in Desert Storm, a few months into Desert Storm, I got a letter. I didn't even know he was in the Army. I didn't know he had PTSD. I didn't know anything about him. That was his Uncle Mike. Man, he was a bodybuilder. He was a boxer. He was just that was Uncle Mike, my dad's big brother. Man, he had some stories about when they were growing up in the 50s, right? They were thugs. But he wrote me this letter, this like long 11-page letter about, you know, how proud he is, and he's never worn any of his gear, never got welcomed home from Vietnam. You can tell he was crying in the letter. There's like dried up wet spots that he was just poured it out. And after that, that's what my dad said. All of a sudden he's wearing the Army jacket, Vietnam hat, and veteran, and getting some. So that's all. I had a concerned parent that didn't want me, you know, to ever experience any of that. Lord Demetrius, I tried joining the Marines, rejected for epilepsy. Wow. Wanted combat in Iraq about 2006. There are some things that they cannot. Yeah, flying our country's flag at the same height as the American flag, to me, represents unity amongst all nations, no matter where. But at the same time, if you move there, helps the economy instead of a siphon. So again, we wouldn't go to another country and fly ours higher than anyone else. So it's when all state country flags are flown together, they are all equal. Nothing can fly above. It's MW. I'm going to go. Have a good night, and thank you for your service. Thank you. It is MW. Appreciate you being here. McCormick is here. URAH Sergeant Major. What's up, McCormick? Uncle Mike was a tough SOB, I'm telling you. He told me the story, too. Years later, I ended up meeting him in Texas somewhere a couple years ago, actually. He said halfway through, I don't know, his first or second deployment, he says he wishes he would have, he doesn't know where it is now, but he was unpacking something, getting ready something, and a little blue car fell out of his bag somewhere. And he didn't know what it was. He put it back, but he ended up losing track of it. And he asked my dad about it later. And Uncle Mike said that when he was packing to go to Vietnam, I was watching. Hey, Uncle Mike, where are you going? I don't remember how old I was. He said I put it in his bags as he was going. 60. I wasn't even born yet. 67, 68. 30 minutes to LZ. Carl Green. Thank you, brother. All right. I'm going to cover this next topic here after I say docs. Ma'am, I respect the unity behind every flag, but as an American, I believe the USA flag should always fly the highest because it represents our nation, our freedom, and those who fought for it. Yeah, in our country and in any of our territories, 100%, it should be the highest. Uncle Mike should be proud, as he has every right to be. Amen. You know what else is Uncle Mike never got any disability. Never went to the VA, had a bad experience at the VA in the 60s or 70s, never went back. And he had back pain, hearing loss, like we all do, but he finally went after we started talking. All right, quote of the day from Randy. Most of us were taught that God would love us if and when we change. In fact, God loves you so that you can change. Amen. I like that. Yes, you were born yet, Jared. All right, here we go. On that note, expectations. Again, I love doing shorts, but they're short, and I don't get to talk about all of it in a short because it's, again, short. I want to keep them short. Most people that watch them have the attention span like I do, and you can't go much than 30 seconds. Flying, you know what? That flag is sick. Thank you. That's from ANCmetalworks.com. ANCmetalworks.com, and it is sick. I got some more stuff Maybe we'll switch back over. I got an M4 over there. He is amazing. Lay Cookie's not here tonight. Awesome, awesome work. Check his website, ANC Metalworks. 10% off if you mention SFMF era. But thank you. Appreciate that. All right. Expectations. And again, I get ideas when I'm at the gym, when I see Marines and you know, again, there's awesome, squared away, motivated Marines everywhere. We're surrounded by them. There's also the 10%. And the gate guard the other morning just had a big, thick mustache, out of regs. And he's motivated. Hey, so Major, good to see you. All right. Welcome. You know, and I gave him the same respect right back. I was thinking, man, if I was an MP, staff NCO, what do I expect? In fact, I wonder what officers expect when a new Marine checks in, because you get judged. Boom. Just by your appearance. We talked about that. Let me recognize Doc real quick. We sleep free because warriors stood the line. This Memorial Day, from one grateful citizen to every service member, your sacrifice built this nation's strength and freedom. Amen, Doc. Appreciate you. I'm telling you, we don't do it for a pat on the back. We don't do it for a thanks. We don't do it for any of that. But when they come, it means a lot. It really, really does. Truly does. Eric Green is here. What's up, Eric? We're talking about expectations. Okay, I got to cover this because it's huge. And WW standby tomorrow is I'm going to do an officer one. But what do you expect? I want to know what officers expect from the enlisted Marine when he checks in. Or no, I did the other one. I did the officers first. So what do enlisted Marines expect of the boot lieutenant that checks in? Right? You're a young Marine, Lance Corporal. Hey, we're getting a new platoon commander. He'll be here tomorrow. What is going through that young Marine's mind? Man, I hope my platoon commander is this. That's what I wanted to hear, because I know very recently I know what I remembered or expected as a senior staff NCO, definitely as a sergeant major. I want this guy or this girl to be this: lead by example, open-minded, teamwork, all those things that in the comments are amazing. Please go watch that short. Read the comments. Kind of also, I want young officers, kids that are in service academies right now on Marine contracts that are going to be a Marine lieutenant soon. Hence, Annie Benani, right? If those officers, soon to be those midshipmen, could read those comments and say, oh, okay, this is what the enlisted is, because they hear something different when they go to OCS, Officer Candidate School, the basic school, probably all through their service academy, right? If they're in ROTC, you're in charge, you're this, you're the commander. I imagine, right? And you better, those Marines, and you better lock them on, square them away. The overwhelming comments were mutual respect, right? Back and forth. Listen to the seasoned Marines, enlisted. Yes, they're enlisted, and you're the commander, you're in charge. So it's going to be interesting. I'm going to flip it tomorrow and say, what do the officers expect from the enlisted? And all it is, that dialogue, that open communication. This is what I expect from you. What do you expect from me? And if you could just have that conversation, and I didn't learn that till later on as a platoon sergeant. Hey, Lieutenant, welcome. I'm Staff Sergeant Cece. I'm your platoon sergeant. Let's talk about some things. Let's work on this marriage right now. What do you expect from us as enlisted? What do you expect from the platoon? Or I would probably start. Here's our capabilities. Here's what we've been. Here's what we've done. I got 3 sergeants. They all combat. They're motivated. I got a McQuist. I got a jump master. Whatever. This is what you're receiving. Now, what do you expect from us? Because the butter bar, the lieutenant, he don't know anything yet. He knows everything what he learned in college and school. And I even threw out there, doesn't matter what their degree is in, because it really doesn't. It's different. Now you're in the Fleet Marine Force. You're in the Marine Corps. Big boy rules, right? What do you expect from us? How can we help you succeed? And that's what the platoon sergeant does. And again, overwhelming comments about listen to your Marines. Trust the experience of the young enlisted. And it's just communication. All right, one, communication, respect, knowledge. So it's a great opener. Tell you, as a sergeant major, it's easy. Lieutenants, get in here, have a seat, listen. First, I just want you to listen. You know a lot, but you haven't experienced a lot, right? The difference between a PFC and a second lieutenant, the PFC's been promoted once. That's just experience, right? They just joined at different times, right? Difference between a sergeant major and a first sergeant, or a sergeant, a colonel and a captain. Colonel just is older, joined earlier, but all that experience means something. So use that balance of experience. It's good. It's definitely, I think if some young lieutenants or midshipmen were to read the comments, I think they would gain a lot from that, just from hearing from. And you got, of course, some haters on there. Lieutenants need to stop doing this and stop doing that and stuff. It's the enlisted's responsibility. Yeah, I got it, sir. I understand that. Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. That's what you learn in college and in TBS and OCS and whatever your MOS school is. But this is, as a Lance Corps, senior Lance Corps, I've been doing this for 4 years. Would you mind just listening to what I've actually seen? All right. We bogged the lieutenant down with paperwork. He didn't have much time for anything. There's officers like that. I actually worked with the colonel who kept him busy with paperwork so we could perform as his company. Because ultimately they're responsible for that too. Overall in charge. What is that? One colonel, new rank, plus Fort Benning, pizza box. I don't get it.
Somebody said that they're a first colonel in the Marines stationed at Fort Benning. Shared said
Yeah. Oh, and Jubak is acting dumb. Man, just read the room, brother. Don't bring that nonsense here. That is another problem with today's society. Read the room. What?
What does mine say?
Yours says outside.
No, I put it in phone.
The producer's losing it. Outside what? Outside is sun's out, so you need glasses on? So appreciate you, Jared. And, and Eric Green's like, outside, what are you talking about? Funny, you know how I feel about trolls. I really rather just mess with them. And we ain't got time for that though. Read the room, buddy. Rather just make them feel as foolish as they look and sound. But I'll leave them through. My Marine shines through sometimes, even though I've been out a long time. Yes, 100%. And got a buddy I've been talking about. He's freshly retired. And I did wear like a Marine polo the other day. He's like, man, I don't even have any Marine shirts. You don't when you're active duty. Because you're living it. So expectations. Watch for that short tomorrow. What do the officers now know what the enlisted expect from them? From them, now we need to know what officers expect from the enlisted. And it's our initial judgment. I've done a short on this before. Are Marines judgmental? 1,000%. Right? You get a Marine checking in and he's or she is overweight. Their hair is not within regulations. Their uniform is nasty. Oh God, it's going to be a long 3 years. Can already tell. Physically fit. Your first PT session, you fall out of run, judged. You are now designated a shitbird. Right off the bat, you come checking on crutches, a legitimate break, right? You were getting some range 400, 29 palms. You were getting some, broke your ankle. You show up somewhere with the boot on, you're a bird. You're a light duty commando. There's no way around it. Marines are fanatical. So if you can't keep up on a run, again, you need a haircut, which a good Marine never needs one. All those things completely set the stage for what that unit has to deal with. Bob, you like Lejeune? I'm stationed here as my first duty station. Not really liking it. So I've never been stationed in Lejeune or Lejeune, depends on who you talk to. I've gone to school there 3 different occasions. I've been there. I've been there plenty of times. I've been there enough to know I didn't want to get stationed there. Nothing personal. I'm a West Coast guy. Even their ocean is different. It's green. It's warm, but it's green. Waves aren't as good. I heard they got some great training areas. That short I did on what's the best training area. We all know it's 29 Palms, but Lejeune has some. I was an engineer there. I did 3 different courses, engineer school there. So I know they have some great training area also. But never a big fan of Lejeune. I like the old school about it. I like the historic part of it, but never been stationed there. And here's what I'll tell you: get to know it. Get off base, right? Explore North Carolina, right? As much as you can in that general area. On a 96, get out there. Go to, what's that beach we tried to go to one time when I was in engineer school? What is it? Myrtle Beach, probably. Yeah, South Carolina. We drove down to Myrtle Beach one time. Just try to explore, take advantage, especially if you've never been to North Carolina. Get away from base. Stay away from the tattoo parlors, the strip bars. Yeah, USMC Cece was stationed there. It was different, and she purposely from Hawaii, she wanted to go somewhere other than her hometown. So take advantage of it. Topsail Beach, right, from Mark Hankins. Yeah, well, I'm sure we have some Lejeune Marines here. Who did? JKC. Let's see the question. JKC, Sergeant Major. I applauded you for trying to answer so many chat comments. That's tough. If you had any key subject items for this Memorial Day, what would it be? Master Guns, appreciate you. It is, and I think that's kind of the beauty of our show. It's not just me. You guys are setting the stage. So thanks for saying that, JKC. Just that, just what the pastor, who is a civilian, was trying to pass this morning in church to all 3 services. Memorial Day is different than Veterans Day, and kind of recognize that it is different. And it is a great day. Early on in the show, someone say, best holiday ever. It's so great. It is for most. But I wouldn't even say most. For a lot of us, it's because we have lost fellow service members. We've lost friends. We've lost peers. We've lost subordinates. So as much as it is a time to celebrate, right? You still celebrate their life. Recognize that they're no longer with us, but celebrate their life. And remember and say prayers. It's not a festive holiday. That's the best way to put it. It is a holiday. God bless that it is. Again, we like to say we celebrate those men and women all year long, but to designate a day is good as well. So, one particular message: take a moment, right? Moment of silence, right? If you drink, toast to the men and women who are no longer with us, families that are still dealing with that. This is not an easy holiday, right? It's a time to gather, but also a time to remember. So thanks, brother, for saying that. And remember, it can be tough. It can be real tough. So a good time for the buddy checks. Texts are great. I'm in a couple different group texts that we Hey, don't forget, remember so-and-so, you time to reflect, but a phone call, if you know for sure someone's hurting, pick up the phone and give them a call. Use your phone for what it was intended for, a phone call. Call somebody. If you can visit somebody, by all means, visit. If you got neither of those, go to a local VSO, Veteran Service Organization. If there's a Marine Corps league near your house, one of the leagues, all the leagues should be doing something specific. Might be parades in your hometown, whatever's going on at some point tomorrow, just recognize. David, God bless this program. When I enlisted, it was plain bus footprints, no real information of what to expect. I'm with you, David. No, I did have information. I just chose to not listen. I don't know if the producer might know this about me. I tend to wing some things. So I went in. I was fed all kinds of information, but I didn't have time for that. I was just tell me when I got to get on the bus, and I'll go and figure it out once I get there. Carl Green. But to your point, David, thank you. That's why I'm telling you, that's what the chaplain said this morning. He said, "Hey, man, I love watching your stuff." Or the pastor, I love watching it. It's just, I'm not a Marine, but I'm learning more and more, so much. But it's like you're there just to help people, get ready for the Corps, how to deal when you're in the Corps. And like when they get out, he just said it like matter of factly. He said that's what he's getting from it as a civilian. So it really solidified what we're doing here. Eric, thank you so much. I mean, Carl Green. I saw Eric received one. That's what I said, Eric's name. Eric Green received one from Carl. Thank you, Carl. Anyone out here tonight, right now, if you just received a gift membership, that's from Carl. We had some earlier. Who did? Randy and WW? JTB. Appreciate you guys. Members, I'll cover members real quick. What we do for the members. Wednesday, we go members only live on Wednesday. Showed them a sticker on Wednesday. Can I show the gem pop? Or that was everybody this past Wednesday. I'll show you the sticker, the new sticker. The producer is done with school. Hallelujah. Right? She can come back to earth with us here. She's done with school. She got like, what'd you get, 2 C's or something? A C and a D? I don't know. She like barely. She got A's across the board. It's one of them high achievers, teacher's pet. She got like a 99.9994 slacker. But she's done. So you'll see more stuff. I'm going to show you a sticker that she made, a sheet of stickers. So let me know where I got it in here. Look at Doc. Here, got a membership. URAH, Carl. Here's the latest and greatest. Let me know left or right, up or down. Can you look close and see some OGs on there? OG screen names. You can see them this way.
A little too close, a little too close.
I'm backing up. Back the truck up. Get them while they're hot. They're not on the merch channel yet, but they will be. SFMF-merch.myshopify.com. It's warming up. Okay, the producer's going to do it. Upside down. Look at my eyes roll. Look at my eyes.
Because can you see your name?
Can you see your names on there? From Master Guns. Well stated. Yes, you are 100% correct. I love your chats and advice. You would have been a great Master Gunnery Sergeant. Huge compliment, brother JKC. Appreciate that. Absolutely. You know the love and hate between the Master Gunnery Sergeant and the Sergeant Major. Never had a bad Master Guns. Not a single one. Did have a Master Chief I had to kind of put in place one time. We're in the same unit, but I was the Squadron Sergeant Major and he was a Master Chief. Great dude while he was a Senior Master Chief. As soon as he became a Master Chief, while we're in the same unit, all of a sudden we're on a first name basis and he had some rules he wanted to make. Doesn't work like that. Yes, we're both E9, but I was a senior enlisted advisor to the commander, so back off. It was good though. We worked it out. but never in my entire career did I have any issues with any master guns. Even as a first sergeant, I had some master guns, highly respected them, and for all the right reasons, never had an issue, nothing. What's funny, master guns, watch that short and read some of the comments. Some Marines just don't know the difference. Sergeant Major, get off my grass. Sergeant Major sucks. Sergeant Major. Well, yeah. Who does the Sergeant Major know? The good Marines, of course, and then the bad ones. Love it. Green smoke. I see it. Carl Green, 20 gift memberships. So that's what? Sorry, top. Second from left. B of those. What are you saying over there? Love it. Producers up on the website. Is it up on the website? That sticker is not yet, Doc. That particular sticker. But when you order, say you'd like a sticker, and we might drop one in there. USMC Cece received a gift membership by Carl Green. She's been working. You know she's been working. She's on the beat. She's been working. Well, that's why we haven't seen her a while. Look at all this. Carl Green, or Doc asked if the sticker's on. Was it Doc? Love it, producer. Is it up on the website?
Academy said sorry. Second from the left.
Oh, he saw him on there?
What's the second from the left?
Second from the left is the boot. Oh, he's calling somebody a boot. You calling the producer a boot? I got you. Look at all the memberships. What USMC, right? She got one? Ideals. Thanks. Thanks for saying that. Ideals. You need one with the CRET for the old timers. Good one, David. CRET. Can you find the CRET emoji? She said, of course. Not really, but that's what I heard. She said, of course. I get right on that. Hooking and stabbing, slashing and stabbing. Hooking and jabbing, slashing and stabbing. What's up, Mike Smithers? Hooking and jabbing, slashing and stabbing. It's in a couple songs, too. Not me. I'm not a boot. Adam means you ain't no boot. You can be boot first sergeant soon. Years ago, it's from JKC. Years ago, they were thinking of making a Master Guns of the United States Marine Corps, the USMC, like the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. But it fell to the wayside. What's your opinion on this? Support it 100%. WW, if you're still here, there's a chief warrant officer of the Army, which I think falls along the same lines. I think, though, JKC, I think there should be one. What would his or her specific job be? I think that's what they're trying to find, because it's all different MOSs. Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps is easy because all sergeants major and first sergeant are all the same MOS, and they're all the senior enlisted advisor to their commander. Easy. Even on paper, it looks right. Master Guns, what MOS would it be, right? And, that would stir a bunch of stuff. Oh, why is it only infantry Master Guns? Why? So I think that would be an issue that all Master Guns would have to kind of agree on. And it shouldn't matter what MOS. Should matter, again, the best Master Guns for the position, but how is that weighed? And then what would their workload be? I think they one hold a Master Sergeant school or a Master Guns Select school. Should be a couple month school, just how to be a Master Guns. Which I've never run across any that don't know what they're doing. Clearly some better than others, but I think that's probably why. I'm all for it. But I think it just takes, I think they should get a working group of Master Sergeants, Master Guns, and some 8999s. I think it should be E8, E9 seminar and nail down what that position would entail. But I'm for it. And I do remember when they were talking about it, kind of waiting on a a survey they send out to all E9s. What is your thoughts on this? But I think they should just get some good solid feedback. Again, a working group, and take your time. Take your time, work through this working group, and find a billet description for that position. 5 minutes to LZ. Thank you, Carl. Amen. Producer Mike Barrett and I wore hats together in the 90s. Awesome. When he was Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. You mentioned exactly what we discussed. That's what we discussed. It'd be hard to dial in for sure. They're thinking of this again. I'm glad they are. And Mike Barrett, we spilled some of the same blood and the same mud. I loved it when he was Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. The best, in my opinion, the best so far. And again, I didn't serve under that many, but he was the one I was definitely closest to, saw in action. He was a warrior. And he went on patrols with us in Afghanistan. He used to travel without the commandant. He came to Afghanistan with us and went on patrols. That's the kind of lead from the front that I like to see in all sergeant majors. Yeah, smoking and joking with the boys, sure, in the barracks, at a parade and singing cadence, all that's cool. But you want a warrior that will go on a foot patrol with you in karma. That's the kind of stuff Mike Barrett would do. He was awesome. 1-star rating. Hello and happy Sunday, which is Sun's Day, also known as the Day of Sol Invictus. How are you? We're awesome. We're getting ready to land this plane shortly. Tomorrow is Memorial Day. It's been kind of the key to topics of this particular live, but glad you're here. My name is Christian, and I'm here first. Sorry, Major Lorraine, you're not first. We're getting ready to land this, baby. But I'm glad you're here. Are we doing the Zoom call on Wednesday? Is it this Wednesday? Producer, Doc, you see me looking at her? She's shaking her head north and south. Oh, yeah. All right, you're going to learn what this. Members, this coming Wednesday, Zoom call. Watch for a members only post because we need your email addresses. You got to send the link to their email address. Members. Can you post a link for Zoom? Does anyone know? Can you just post a link for Zoom to members only? We'll figure it out. Wednesday, you got 3 days. And no more school, so no excuses. That's why, yeah. We're going to make an attempt. Wednesday, members. If you're not a member, consider becoming a member. It's going to be our first live Zoom call. So you don't have to just listen to me for 2 hours. Are we doing so? Yeah. The rank insignia for Master Gunnery Sergeant of the USMC would look awesome. Wow, good point, Randy. I didn't even think of that. What would it be? Bursting bomb flanked by what? Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps is an Eagle, Globe, and Anchor flanked by stars. What would the Master Gunnery Sergeant of the Marine Corps look like? That's cool. Jerry says, I don't know, but I mentioned Zoom to my wife and she loaded it to my deal here. So, all right, good. That's what you have to do, everyone, right now. Whatever you're going to Zoom with, make sure it's downloaded onto your phone, laptop, tablet, or computer. You have to have that. And I know as someone receiving it, I've sent one Zoom invite out in my life, and I didn't even do it. My daughter did. So all you'll have to do is hit join if you have it already downloaded on your computer, laptop, tablet, whatever you're going to use. Jared, I don't know how, but we can figure it out, I think we can. We will. Get after it. We will win or learn. Members only, Zoom. If you're not a member, again, consider becoming a member right now so you can be on that members only Zoom. And Jared, you have to have clothes on because we're going to see you. So make sure you're fully dressed, at least from the top up. You have to send the invite through email, says Doc. So some of you actually can do a text message, but we're going emails only. I'm tech dumb, so I may need help. JKC, Sergeant Major, please contact Headquarters Marine Corps. Sign up for the annual Sergeant Major of the USMC picnic held at headquarters. Would love to meet you finally and say hi with previous Sergeants Major of the Marine Corps. I'm going to, brother. Yeah, when is it? When do they hold that? I would love to go. Annual Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps picnic held in Quantico. Sounds like a boondoggle. Is that what you said? Oh, summer event. Yeah. God bless and good night. Dave, have a good night, brother. Yes. Or send your email to our email address. Watch the post section, community post for info. Yep, you can join video, or it has a number you can dial in and call in. All that stuff is on the invite, right? Either click the link or call this number. Summertime flexible. Okay, good. JKC, I'm going to go online and look for it. Headquarters, Marine Corps, Sergeant Major. I'd love to go to that. See some old Sergeants Major. Like now or email on Wednesday. Like now or email on Wednesday. Email right now. Just so she can create a group and then she can send it out all in once. Look for it. Look for it. Look for it. Look for it. God bless all of you. Again, hope you're having a great weekend. Hopefully you have tomorrow off. Spend time. What are you laughing at? Apache Gummy Bear. I saw you the first time in 2.5 Breaking Hopes and Dreams. I'm screenshotting that baby right there. That was my job. Apache Gummy Bear. Semper Fi, brother. Good times. Good times. Nothing but good times. SFMF.com at gmail.com. I'll say it one more time for you slower ones and Jared. SFMF.com at gmail.com. Email. We'll have your email address when you email. That way we can put that group email together, send out the invite for Wednesday, Zoom live with the SFMF family. Get after it, everyone. Be aggressive, but be safe. Celebrate tomorrow. God bless all of you. Semper Fi, my friend.